Super Mario World has so many moments and areas burnt into my memory. The hidden exits, the Star Road, the castles, the fortresses, the list goes on and on. But for me, those ghost houses, they were very different. They were weird, creepy. They gave off this vibe that kind of stuck with me over the years, more than anything else in the entire game. You see, most of Super Mario World, it was bright and fun. You got grassy plains, these levels with awesome music that gets stuck in your head, these hidden button levels, the bonus levels, they were all very upbeat. And even the very tough levels, they had this playful feel to it. But the ghost houses, completely different. So I kept asking myself the question, what made these ghost houses so special? Let's go back and explore every one and figure out what made them stick with us even decades later. But before we go through each ghost house one by one, let's first talk about what made them feel so different in the first place. Because as soon as you stumbled upon your first one and you hit that loading screen, it was obvious they were going to be a bit different. That eerie music starts playing and you have to leave Yoshi outside. I remember being super sad the first time this happened because I didn't know if I was going to get him back. And fun fact, this was actually a technical limitation of not being able to take Yoshi through doors. Because if you think about it, as soon as you went in, if you brought Yoshi in, once you hit one of those doors, you wouldn't be able to take Yoshi with you anyway. So the developers decided, let's leave him outside and we'll give him back to you at the end. But in reality, this was a pretty creative decision around this technical limitation because it gave it more of an ominous feel. You had to go in alone and you had to leave your overpowered buddy outside. And then you hear this door sound, screen fades to black and music starts to pick up and you're in. The music is something that still sticks out in my mind to this day. I remember not wanting to be alone playing this as a kid. I usually needed to have one of my siblings or cousins with me. And if you think about it, it's the complete opposite of all the other upbeat Mario tunes that you're used to in the other levels up until this point. And the enemies, they definitely matched the vibe. The boos took up the entire screen, they were massive. The little ones would freeze when you looked at them, but when you weren't looking, they would kind of creep behind you trying to get you. This mechanic definitely freaked me out back in the day and why I wanted someone by my side while I was playing these levels. It felt like the level itself was watching me, and that something mysterious could pop out at any minute. So in total, there are 6 ghost houses scattered across the Dinosaur Land map in the game. 7 if you count the Sunken ghost ship sitting right before Bowser's Valley. And they weren't just spooky ghost houses, every time you cleared one, you got a chance to save your game. And back then this was huge, because you couldn't just save at any time that you wanted to. So they weren't just another stage in the map that were creepy and eerie like I've been talking about, they were actually kind of landmarks, because it gave you a chance to save your game. And again, once you got inside one of these, the rules kind of changed. You weren't just left to right trying to clear a level. These were actually kind of puzzle box and mystery levels. Fake doors that sent you back to the start, the P-switches that would open up new doors. Some of these rooms look so similar to one another that you didn't even know if you were progressing or not, or the game was just messing with you. And they had a ton of secret hidden exits. Some of them even had multiple secret exits, which always had me coming back, not just to save my game, but to really explore the mystery of these ghost houses. And I think that's what added to the magic of these levels. It was more about investigating and treating it like a puzzle that you had to solve versus dodging enemies and dashing to the exit. So let's revisit each ghost house one by one and explore them together. So technically the first ghost house you'll see is when you get to Donut Plains, and it's actually a secret one, but we'll start here. To get there, you need to find 2 secret exits in 2 levels. The first one's in Donut Plains 1, and it's at the very end of the level. If you already unlocked the green switch, it's pretty easy because you just run up these blocks to get to the secret exit, and if not, you can simply just fly up here with the cape. That unlocks a path to Donut Secret 1, an underwater level where if you hit this P-switch, you'll be able to grab the key and find the secret exit of this level, and that will take you to the Donut Secret Ghost House. Once you get inside the ghost house, it's pretty straightforward. You simply hop over this boo to reach the second room, but the yellow doors in the second stage, they just loop you back around. So you need to find the blue door exit. If you clear out these coins, then hit the P switch, it'll unlock your first blue door, the first of the 2 exits of this ghost house. If you find this exit, it actually takes you to this pipe. And this pipe is actually pretty cool, because when you go down it, it takes you to Bowser's Valley. So you're only on the first stage of the game, but here you have a secret pipe that's giving you a glimpse into the end game. I remember sitting here as a kid thinking, whoa, is that coming later? Could I jump down this cliff and get there somehow? What is this? It made the world feel huge, and and I think it added to the mystery of the ghost house and the world building overall. But if we go back to the ghost house, exit number 2 is actually right near the same blue door we just looked at. If you hit the P switch and climb up this ladder, you'll find another blue door at the top of the level. Only this time it's not a direct exit, it's actually a mini boss you have to fight, one of the big boos. You grab the throwable blocks and you hit him 3 times when he appears, and once you defeat him, it'll unlock your very first path to a star road. This is the point where you start to realize that there are deep secrets in this game, and that exploration in every level really pays off for the player. I actually covered the magic of Star Road in another video. I'll drop the link in the description if you want to check it out. Ghost House number 2 is Donut Plains Ghost House, and technically it's the first one you'll encounter if you don't take any of the secret exits in the previous levels. This level had 2 different exits, and right away you have to watch out for the Boo Crew enemies floating overhead, and this house loves to trick you. The yellow doors at the end of the level, they just loop you around again and again. And even when you find the P switch and you hit it and you find that blue door, it just loops you back again as well. And the trick is, on the first yellow door, you have to go back through it. You hit this block, you climb up the ladder to the top of the level, and that takes you to the actual exit. But the second and secret exit here is one of the most important secrets in the entire game. You'll need to enter the house with the cape, and right at the beginning of the level you fly all the way up to the top. You have to dodge the boos at the top, but if you run all the way to the end and drop down, you'll find 4 extra lives here waiting for you. But more importantly, this secret exit unlocks an area called Top Secret Area. Basically, it's a supply room with every single power-up in the game, Yoshi in the middle, infinite lives if you want to, and you can come back here anytime you want. And actually, this place was pretty special to me as a kid. I even covered it in a recent video. I'll also drop the link to that if you want to check it out. But this kind of secret made me want to explore every little corner of all the ghost house. Probably more than I should have. Because it made me feel that these ghost houses could be hiding anything, maybe something even super powerful. Next up is Vanilla Ghost House. And weirdly, this one only has a single exit. Back in the day, I tried almost everything to try to find a secret exit here. When you first enter, you've got your classic circling boos, and then you run into a big boo blocking these spin blocks. I remember hitting every single one, and there is one block where a ladder pops out, and that takes you to the top of the level. But all that's up there is a dragon coin. I remember I flew around the whole stage. I even remember jumping into these green bubbles, trying to pop them, thinking it would reveal something. But no matter what I did, there was only ever one way out. You just clear these coins, grab the P switch, head through the blue door, and that's it. And I remember as a kid, this drove me crazy, because I really wish I had the internet back then, because I was convinced I was missing something, but there was no way for me to confirm it. But honestly, now that I look back, that's what made it kind of special. Part of me still believes there could be some secrets hiding in there that no one's ever found. Next up is the Forest Ghost House. This one's found in the Forest of Illusion. It feels like the whole forest was designed around mystery and secret exits, and the ghost house definitely lived up to it. It's got 2 exits, and right from the start, the whole level feels a bit different. Instead of an open room, you begin the stage in this long corridor. You see a dragon coin outside the level, and you even see a door sitting outside the map, which just adds to the mystery. Also, the tight level design makes it feel a bit more stressful, and I really think that's great game design because those little details really immerse you. When you reach the second section of the level, there's a huge Boo Crew mob floating above you, and it seems like they're a bit more aggressive than usual. But if they hit you, it's not the end of the world because you'll shrink down to small Mario, and it's actually the only way you can grab this extra life right here. And once you pick up the P switch, if you head through the blue door after you clear out these coins, the first door you'll see, that will be the normal exit. And if you remember, the secret exit is hinted at earlier in the level, that door you saw outside the stage. But basically, if you rinse and repeat the stage, and you walk or fly all the way back to the beginning of the level, except this time outside of it, go through that door, you'll get the secret exit. And you'll know it's a secret exit because you'll see a little 3-life moon here on the outside. This house always felt a little bit mysterious to me. It's really easy to get lost in the darkness when you're outside the map. You've got all those boos flying around, and another weird little detail that I always wondered about was these clocks in the background. They seem like they're frozen in time. It looks like it's either 1:53 or 10:06. I could never really tell. I always wondered if it meant something. If anyone knows out there, please drop it in the comments. I love discovering these mysteries decades later. Once you finally make it out of the Forest of Illusion, you arrive at the Choco-Ghost House. And this one felt like a bit of a skill check. Right away, you get random enemies popping out at you, a moving gap in the floor that you had to time just right, and of course, this guy, the fishing boo. He's brutal. I couldn't stand him. Always hovering over you, limiting movement and jumping. And as far as I know, there was no real way to take him out. Please let me know if I'm wrong. In the second part of the level, you have these stone ghosts that follow you around. And that's a little bit of a hint because you actually have to use these guys to build a kind of staircase to reach the exit. And this is a bit of a tricky section because you can go all the way to the end to get this extra life. But I remember getting stuck here because it wasn't that obvious that you had to go back, lure these stone ghosts up, and maneuver them to build this kind of makeshift staircase to get up to the exit. And here's the other thing. Once again, Choco-Ghost House didn't have a secret exit. In the overworld, you had the pipe sitting there, this island off to the side, and you just came out of the Forest of Illusion where they had all the secrets. I was shocked that this one did not have a secret exit. But it didn't stop me from searching. I wasted a lot of time back in the day trying to find the secret exit here because I felt like there had to be one. But nope, Nintendo threw us all off in this one. Still don't know why they did it to us, and I really wish I had better access to game guides back in the day. I think the Sunken ghost ship has to count as a ghost house. In the manual, it's described as one of the airships from Bowser's Forces in Super Mario Bros. 3. So does that mean the ghosts here are all the spirits of all those enemies? It has to be, right? I really think that's what they're inferring. And the ghosts in this level, they're tricky. They appear, they disappear, and you have to time your movement to slip past them as you progress through the level. Combine that with the underwater controls and the flashing sprites, this stage feels way creepier than anything else in most of the rest of the game. Eventually you make it to this pipe, and it drops you into a free fall. You grab a star and you're just falling and falling for what feels like forever. And once the star runs out, you just keep falling and you try to dodge enemies on your way down, kind of crossing your fingers hoping you survive. It's one of the most unique sequences in the entire game. And when you finally land on the bottom, you splash and hit water, and instead of that usual exit gate or exit ladder, you have to swim up and grab this strange green sphere with a question mark on it. And that's what clears the level. And the moment you get back to the overworld, the map completely changes. The entrance to the Valley of Bowser rises up to the surface, and that leads you to the final stretch of the game. And honestly, the mystery and the creepiness around this level probably deserves its own video. I'll probably be revisiting it a little bit down the road. The Valley Ghost House is our final stop, and it's definitely one of the trickiest. This has 2 exits, and both of them are pretty difficult. When you enter, you gotta jump over these green bubbles, and then you get to the second room. Right in the middle here, you grab this P-switch, and you hit it, and you can go left or right. Going left just leads you to a door that loops you back around, and going right takes you to a hallway with 5 doors. Now you have to clear out these coins before they turn back into blocks. Doors 1 and 2, they once again loop you around again. Doors 3 and 4 actually lead you to the main exit, and you'll progress in the overworld if you hit one of these. But remember, you have to reach them in time before these coins turn back to blocks. And then there's door 5. If you make it all the way there and you have to time it right, you'll get an extra life right here. But more importantly, this is the key to the secret exit. And honestly, I think this is the hardest secret exit in the entire game. You have to carry this P-switch to this area, hit this block to turn them into coins, and essentially they're going to build a bridge that leads you to the top of the level to a secret exit. Now, I must have tried this 30 times thinking that these coins were just random, but I learned something new even after decades of playing Super Mario Bros. The coins will actually follow the direction that Mario is facing and looking. Yeah, I had no idea about this. So you can actually steer these coins to build a staircase all the way up to get to that little hidden exit. But it's still tough to pull off because you have to get through this tiny little block and in time before these blocks turn back into coins. So yeah, definitely the hardest secret exit in the entire game in my opinion. So why do these stages feel so different? Because they mattered. Clearing one gave you a save. The secret exits had you exploring more so you could find the mysteries inside. You could unlock hidden shortcuts, hidden areas, and even entire new paths through the map. They made you slow down, they made you experiment, they made you investigate. And they really showed Mario could be way more than just going left to right to the end of a level. That mix of atmosphere and mystery is why I think the ghost houses stick with us decades later. And I'm curious, what stories do you remember from the ghost house? Drop it in the comments. I love hearing all of your memories. And the ghost house and the Boo family, they didn't end with Super Mario World. They became a huge part of the Mario franchise going forward. Mario 64 gave us a ghost level that was unforgettable, which I'll definitely cover in a later video. And Mario Kart 64 had Banshee Boardwalk and unforgettable racetrack. And after that, just about every Mario game has some kind of haunted level with the booze involved. Galaxy, Odyssey, and of course, who could forget about Luigi's Mansion? That all started here in Super Mario World. You saw these on the map and you knew it wasn't just some normal level. There were puzzles, there were mysteries, there were places you just had to investigate instead of just running through. And honestly, this is something I really miss in modern games. Levels that make you slow down, feel like you get a little lost, explore endless mysteries, and really get immersed in the atmosphere. So that's the creepy genius of these ghost houses, and why I think they stick with us even decades later. And if you explored the ghost houses back in the day, you probably had a hidden save of your own. This was mine. This is Hidden Saves, a channel about unlocking old memories and figuring out why some games just stuck with us. If this one unlocks something for you, feel free to hit subscribe or drop a comment, and let me know what forgotten memory we should dig up next. Catch you in the next one.